Welcome back. I thought I would finish up this series. I finally finished the dial escutcheon. You can't see me pointing. That took a little bit because I had to wait for I had to wait for good days where I could actually spray it. So I've just been sitting here actually catching up with Bob Anderson's videos. And while I was doing that, I was cutting out the station call letters, doing a little bit of research on them. Let's see if I can get that to focus in there. There we go. So as far as the station tabs go, I downloaded them from the Philco forum quite a while ago, actually. What I'll do is I'll see if I can find the link. I actually found them in somebody else's post. Ron Ramirez had posted a link to them. Somebody was looking for the station tabs. Chuck Schwark had scanned an original set and did a pretty good job, although as you can see, some of the colors are wrong there, like the on-off television and WRR are a little darker than the rest. I mean, he did the best he could on the scanner, but be that as it may, it's better than having nothing at all or having them black and white. So I did a little research online just so I could get the correct station call letters for Dallas here. I went ahead and left television in there because the on-off and the television were original. These are actually the redos because the originals are rather stained and old. So what I did was I used my inkjet printer, which I needed to go buy ink anyway, and I have a kind of a, I won't say it's crappy, but you know, I think I've learned my lesson finally with Lexmark. The printer's okay, but the ink is astronomical. To buy a black and color cartridge set is $67 for the XL, which still doesn't print that many pages, I might add. So I used about a quarter of the ink printing out the 4 pages of these, plus $7.99 for the photo paper. I used super thin, the cheapest photo paper, so it's 50 weight or 53 weight. I didn't want to use the heavy-duty photo paper because I was afraid the light wouldn't come through. But I probably could have, but that was even $25, so it's $1 a sheet. Anyhow, so these are the stations from 1941 that were in Dallas. KGKO was actually in Fort Worth. WBAP, WFAA, which interestingly, both WBAP and WFAA shared the same frequency in 1941 and 42 through 47. I guess when one was on the air, one wasn't. The other one wasn't. Very interesting. And apparently they did that up until the 50s. So WBAP is still in existence at 820. KGKO is not there anymore. I mean, the frequency is, but the call letters have changed. WFAA is no longer on AM, and it's now a Christian station, but it's the same frequency. KRLD, which you've heard me play before, is still there and still at 1080. KFJZ is gone. It is now, I think it's another Christian station or another news station. WRR is still in existence, but not on AM. WRR is now on FM and plays strictly classical music. So, anyway, just a little history lesson. But another thing is, like I said, I did get the decals on. And it kind of worked out okay with the paint. I didn't really want to use the brass because I thought it was kind of loud. But then again, down at the bottom, you know, it has these brass bars, so it does kind of match. I had some problems with the masking tape I used because if I used the blue stuff, it pulled the printing off of the metal, which I had to touch up with paint. And the yellow tape wouldn't stick properly, so some of the lines bled. That was a lot of fun trying to fix with one of those little tiny little 5-0 paintbrushes that you use with models. Anyway, so the light brown paint I use from Testors, you can't really see. When I was first putting it on, did I miss a spot? Sorry. I don't know. Well, there's something got on there. That's annoying. Anyway, so it turned out pretty good. It took me a while to get the labels on. Being very careful. They, you know, the part that says tone control and volume, you know, that was one set, but the treble, the bass, the low, and the loud were all individuals. So I had a lot of fun lining those up. On this side, you can't really see it here. If you look close up, and I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it. Probably not. No, I mean, I can't even see it anymore. The tone control was the only one on the original ones that wasn't faded. So I actually used the same light brown paint that I used to touch up where the chipped off pieces of the printing were. But like I said, I can't even see it now. I can see it when it's under the bright light sitting on the workbench. But anyhow, it came out pretty good, I think. And I got some felt today. I stood in line for 27 minutes to spend 36 cents on felt. That was fun. So anyway, I will go ahead and pause this for just a minute because I was going to play you some music, and I'm kind of sick of Christmas music. I've been listening to it for 3 weeks, so just dawned on me that the laptop I was watching Bob's videos on is the one that I use to plug into my TV and my broadcaster. So I'm going to pause this and then we'll listen to a little bit of music on here. I did show you the dial light there. Bob, if you're watching, this is what we all found and decided was about as close to the original as possible. So when you do your 316, you might want to check it out. Alright, so I also, when I rearranged my little apartment here, and everything is still in piles. I've got radios everywhere, so I have to go to storage, but just wanted to give you a little bit of a close-up. You guys hadn't seen a close-up of the cabinet now that it's all polished and slightly re-amalgamated. There are still some cracks in the finish. Actually, I don't know if those are actually cracks or just the wood. There is still a little bit of cracking in the finish. It should probably be refinished at some point. I may hit it again with the re-amalgamator at one point, but not until I am in a position where I can mess up the finish and then be able to redo it. I really like the front, the wood on the front, and I'm putting fingerprints on there, and as you can see, it's nice and shiny. And I mentioned this before, I used to make clocks, so although the walnut finish on here is does not match the radio, there's one of my clocks. I made about 12, oh my goodness, no, I made about 15 years ago now. God, I'm getting old. Alright, so let me go ahead and pause this, and then we'll listen to a little bit of music.